What is up, 50/50 losers and Polychrome entrepreneurs? It is your boy wtfmikxy here, and today we are going over something every single gacha player, especially the free-to-play ones out there, would like to know. How do I obtain more Polychrome on Zenless Zone 0 so I could be able to afford the current limited banner character? Well, without taking up too much time, that is exactly what we'll be going over today, so let's get right into the video. We will be starting off with the endgame content within Zenless Zone 0. Now, the reason why I'm starting off with the endgame content at the beginning of this video is because it is quite frankly the best way to gain lots of Polychrome in a short period of time. However, for some gamers, it will also be the hardest way to obtain free Polychrome. Located in Scott's Outpost, you will find two endgame game modes that will provide you with the most amount of Polychrome that you can obtain within the game. So first up, we got Shiyu Defense, which is basically like the Memory of Chaos from Honkai Star Rail, except of course this is Zenless Zone 0. In Shiyu Defense, you basically fight a swarm of enemies in a timely fashion. The faster you complete this, the more rewards and Polychrome you will obtain. The game mode is also very fun for those of you who hate the TV system in Zenless Zone 0 and for those of you who are looking for a challenge. Fear not though, if you cannot complete the challenge within the asked time period, you can at least obtain 200 Polychrome or 100 from the total of 300 that you may be able to obtain. Now for the second endgame game mode, we have the Hollow Zero, which if you are really, and I mean really, in need of Polychrome to pull the next character, then you want to be farming here. Like, there is quite literally an endless supply with multiple ways of farming Polychrome. For those of you who again are familiar with the endgame game modes in Honkai Star Rail, I do like to relate Hollow Zero to Simulate a Universe, except of course there is quite a few differences, such as the Zenless Zone 0 TV screen mode here and other aspects to this game mode. Also, the only reason why I do relate it to Simulate a Universe because that game mode in Honkai Star Rail is one of the best ways to farm for gacha currency within that game. Also, under the license level tab, you can obtain so much Polychrome and even lots of Boopon. Just look at how much Polychrome you can actually obtain from here. It's absolutely insane. You also get the bounty commissions, which gives you some Polychrome as well, and standard banner pulls. There are also stages within the Hollow Zone 0 where you can complete different stages, and upon completion you will receive Polychrome. Ray also as well inside the Scott's Outpost will give you a lot of Polychrome for things you discovered within the Hollow Zero. She helped me gain lots of pity Polychrome when I was going down the wire to see if I could win my 50/50 on Xingyi. So make sure after doing some rounds in the Hollow Zero, you visit her as well. Casper, who is also at the Outpost, will sell you a standard banner pull and Boopon with the currency you obtain from the Hollow Zone. And that about wraps it up for the endgame content in Zenless Zone 0. So let's move on. At the 24-hour store, much like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, you can actually gain free standard banner and limited banner pulls from the store. You gain this currency called residual signals over time when pulling for characters or W engines. You can reuse these residual signals to purchase more gacha currency. So you basically summon from signal searching and gain extra residual signals. You can also have fading signals, which are easier to obtain than the residual signals, which you can purchase 5 master tapes and 5 encrypted master tapes at a time within a monthly time period. This, by the way, is one of my favorite ways to gain free gacha currency and limited and standard banner pulls. Within the Hollow Deep Dive, which is another good way to farm Polychrome and where you'll spend most of your time while playing Zenless Zone 0, you are given a selection of 3 things you can do. You may play the main story, which as you guys may know is the most normal way to farm Polychrome because at that point you are just playing the game. You can also go to exploration commissions, which will have tasks for you to complete, or the combat commissions. Upon completing the main story or commissions for the first time, you'll be granted free Polychrome. You can also go to the hard mode stages where you can gain extra free Polychrome, although it will be less, but you will be gaining some extra to help you meet your long-term goal. The errands tab will act as your daily task within Zenless Zone 0. Simply by completing all these daily tasks, you will gain free Polychrome over time. Now, you do not want to forget about the premiere tab because I did at the beginning of my playthrough in Zenless Zone 0, and that is how I personally did not have the time to pull for Ellen, which actually worked out for me anyways because now I have a Jiyuan and Xingyi team. So under the Premiere tab, you'll be given tasks, which if you complete these tasks will give you free Polychrome and other gacha currency rewards. So if you are short on Polychrome, make sure you check out these tasks because these might be what you need. You will also receive free bonus standard banner pulls from doing this as well. Moving on to commissions, when you're going to your schedule or venturing out into the open world aspects of Zenless Zone 0, there is actually a bunch of opportunities to obtain free Polychrome. Also, I don't know about you guys, when it comes to having all of these blue missions or side quests on my screen, I just really can't stand it. And I know a lot of you hate doing them, but for me at least, it irks me to have them constantly there reminding me to do them. So for me personally, on my time on Zenless Zone 0, I am here a lot grinding Polychrome. Not even on purpose either, but mainly because it just annoys me having all these side quests here and it just irks me and bothers me like I just mentioned before. Speaking on the topic of commissions, we also have the Internaut level, which your Internaut level, or rather your account level, level is another way to farm Polychrome over time. Leveling up your account level will not only lead to free Polychrome, but free standard banner pulls as well. So focusing on your account level will help you in the long run when farming for gacha currency. I won't be going into specific details on how to level up quickly, so if you would like to see another video on that, please let me know in the comment section down below. Moving on, we have events, which we get every now and then, most likely during like a big patch or a new update. It is very important you stay on top of these events because they do expire. When events expire, you'll be missing out on potential Polychrome and free gacha currency if you are not grinding for them. So whenever you are not busy doing something else within the game or you got free time, I would highly suggest focusing on these first. Which on that note brings me to the daily login. Every now and then Hoyoverse will make a login event and you will receive multiple limited banner pulls simply just by logging in. Which I know is pretty self-explanatory, but the question is, when do we know when these events occur? Which is actually a simple answer. They will typically announce it on X, or they will announce it on a big live stream before a big patch. Pretty much every single time this does occur, it is a free guaranteed 10 limited banner pulls on the limited banner. Also, it's worth mentioning during your daily login, if you talk to Hal, you may get lucky enough on his daily scratch ticket and get some free Polychrome. However, I wouldn't recommend coming out at night and waking him up. I've noticed he gives me Denny's most of the time when I do that. Kind of annoying, but I guess you should not wake up somebody when they just worked a full shift at their job. Moving on, believe it or not, there is actually ways to farm Polychrome in the minor open world aspects of this game. Much like Honkai Star Rail and not Genshin Impact, of course, because this is not an open world game in general, there are chests or cargo crates that are scattered around within different parts of New Eridu that will unlock throughout completing the main story of the game. Which takes me into the next way to farm Polychrome. We'll be sitting taking it easy at some, I don't know, some sketchy points of the map. Anyways, Officer Mew Mew basically wants us to go around the free roam parts of the map and basically help the New Eridu citizens out. So a small tip I can give all of you guys, make sure you are interacting with anything and everything in Zenless Zone Zero free roam. Who knows, you might end up helping out a Bangbu or a local citizen to gain some free Polychrome this way. For those of you who have not visited your local arcade in 6th Street, there are currently, and I mean at the time of this video, because I'm going to be making a prediction that they will add more to the arcade, because what kind of arcade only has 2 games? Playing 2 games, Snake and Soulhounds have their own achievement system that will lead to free Polychrome. I come here when I am basically like only a couple of 100 off a temple. Only thing that kind of sucks is that once you exhausted all the achievements, you basically have no reason in coming here, which is why I think they will add more game modes to the arcade. Speaking of which, achievements are also a big one in this game. Now personally, I do not go out of my way to read the achievements because just playing the game will unlock a massive amount of them, but every now and then I will focus on them. Anyways, completing achievements in Zenless Zone Zero, much like any other gacha game, will lead to a lot more Polychrome or gacha currency. Now the more you play the game, the less you will get achievements, but just thought I would mention this tab to you as well. But in the early game, these achievements and Polychrome will stack up and help you save lots of gacha currency. We also have the character trust meter, which not only gives us an exciting home menu screen, but the trust meter also gives us free Polychrome when said character trusts us more as a proxy. You just select which character you want to build trust with and work on that character, and over time you will gain free Polychrome. Over at the VR device, you can complete agent exercises, or rather character trials. When you do these character trials, you gain free Polychrome. Also, if you want to practice with specific teams and characters, you can stop by here as well. Also at the workbench, going through the proxy handbook, which honestly is worse than watching paint dry. For each new discovery in the proxy handbook you select, you will receive a singular Polychrome. Isn't this just the best way? Sorry, I was just kidding. Leveling up your characters over time will also get you free standard banner pulls. However, do be cautious when using this approach because in Zenless Zone Zero, the XP level up materials are very scarce. So in the early game, I really would not recommend blowing all of your XP materials. But this is also another cool way to gain free standard banner gacha pulls, so you can try to get cool standard banner characters, hopefully. So much like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail, every other rank up, doesn't matter which agent it is, will gift you a free standard banner pull. Now moving on to the remodeling shop, over time you'll be pulling for specific Bangbu. You will get a whole bunch of other Bangbu that you can level up and gain free Boopons from. And in the last patch of 1.1, we were given a new Bangbu. So eventually we'll have way more Bangbus to get Boopons from. The battle pass, much like every other gacha game, when leveling up will give you free standard banner gacha pulls and free Boopon. However, if you are someone that purchases the battle pass, it will give you free Polychrome upon completion and limited banner pulls as well. After a big patch or update, it is very important you check your mail, which typically most of the time, if you have spent quite some time away from the game, you will get an annoying red ping to tell you to check your mail, which should contain free Polychrome. The dev team typically does this during a big patch as compensation for us having to wait to play the game because the servers are down, or for whatever the case may be. Lastly, as I mentioned before in the developer live streams before those big patches, typically Zenless Zone Zero will host a live stream and drop free codes so you can gain free Polychrome and other free rewards from. Or typically if you go on Zenless Zone Zero's official X or official Instagram, they will be hosting different types of events there where you can gain free Polychrome from. Well, those are all my tricks tricks to get you free Polychromes so you can get your next gacha character. If you found this video useful, smash the subscribe button down below so you can find your way back to my channel. Comment your thoughts or other tricks that can help someone else gain more Polychrome. If I personally missed something, and no, I don't mean pull out a credit card or use a debit card to gain free rewards because that's not free, then let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, join the community Discord. Thanks for watching. Peace.